Hello and welcome to another episode of Life Talks with Fawole. We don't have the voice behind the camera. We have the wizard from Albania, aka and we have the amazing Kemi in the studio. Yeah. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen at home. It's not that I don't know my interviewee, but if you watch the show before, you know that I'm bad with names and I forget them on a random basis. I've known this young lady for over 20 years, innit?
Yeah.
Over 20 years. But I know her as, I've known her for the 20 years as Jessica. But you have an African name, and this is the name you go by now, which has caused me to have the kind of like confusion when I was saying it at the beginning. But I do know this young lady. She's an amazing person. Look at that smile. Look at that energy. She's fucking lovely. Kemi? Yeah? Kemi in the house. I think that was a better introduction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kemi what?
Kemiyoshi.
Kemiyoshi.
Yeah.
Where's that? That's your last name, yeah?
Yeah, part of it.
Where's that come from?
Nigeria.
Nigeria?
Yeah.
You're Nigeria? Nigeria. So you're Nigerian?
Yeah.
I'm on Niger. Ati in the house. Now, wow. Who don't go? No. We are family.
Yes. Exactly.
Yes. I'm Ayo, as everyone knows. I mean, Yoruba name. So what tribe's that from?
Yeah, my dad's Yoruba.
Hey, what
Yeah.
done?
And our family's
You're
from
blessed.
Ikena.
Ikena.
Yeah, Ikena.
Okay. Ekene.
Yeah.
So what do you know about Africa, Nigeria? I was born here, so I only know so much. They when I when I go home, they look at me, say, "Look at you, you're an English boy, Ajibota as they call or whatever." But so I feel at home in Africa. I said it's the first place I went to, and I didn't feel like a black man. I just felt like a man. Like when I got there. So you tell about you before I start gassing away. Go on.
Say again, sorry.
Tell me about your experience of Africa, Nigeria, where you come from, everything.
Yeah,
Break it down.
I was born here. My mum's Bajan from Barbados.
Okay.
And my dad's obviously Nigerian.
Nice mix.
So I've only actually been to Nigeria twice.
Okay.
And
You've tried, you done well.
Yeah, twice. And yeah, I mean, I think like you, I think when you're born here, unless you go spend a lot of time going back and forth, your knowledge of home is limited. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I know bits and pieces.
Yeah.
My dad goes often.
Yeah.
Like, he goes a couple times a year.
Yeah.
But so I haven't been for a long time, about 10 years, maybe a bit more.
What would you attribute that to? Because when you say that now, it just ignites certain things in my brain. Because I've had someone on the show that's told just another Nigerian, and he when he went home, the people were surprised how cultural he was. But he said his parents didn't play, like in his house was like Nigeria. So he'll live in London. When you open the door with his house, Nigeria. So my question is, like, what do you think? Because there's Asians, like the Chinese and the Indian Asians, and then there's other cultures that even when they're displaced from their homeland, they still maintain their heritage and stuff. Yeah. I'm not casting any aspersions as to our nation and stuff, because there's a lot of nations that don't do it and stuff.
Yeah.
But when we going back home without having that parachute of being taught everything here, how does that make you feel? And what do you think about it? Do you think that makes you less Nigerian or less African or less from where you come from, or do you think it doesn't matter?
So, I mean, I don't think it makes you less of anything, but obviously I do feel like I personally feel disadvantaged that I don't have that strong kind of heritage. Like, I'm very connected to my Nigerian side of my family, but culturally, I'm not fully in the culture as much as I would like to be. And I think that's purely because I have one parent who was not born in Africa and one who was. And I think when your mum, so obviously my mum's Caribbean, when your mum's culture is probably the one you're going to follow more, especially where my parents weren't together. They were together for about 10 years of my life, and then they separated, they divorced. So I think then with me living with my mum, that's going to be my main influence. And I think it's purely that. And I also feel like I don't speak Yoruba. Like, I know a couple of words and phrases.
Shalafiani.
You see, I don't know.
No, they used to be like my good friend Axa, his mum, God rest her soul. I never speak much Yoruba, but I had got a lot of Yoruba friends and stuff. So when they was teaching me, because they knew I wasn't, like, I didn't know, but she would say, Shalafiani, like she taught me, I've learned a little word. And I was like, huh?
I hate that. It's like it's not your fault. It's just
It's
how,
not.
Yeah.
It's not. But the ridicule's real.
Yeah.
The ridicule's real.
Yeah.
But with mummy, God rest her soul, when she did that, it never hit me as much as like when people start talking and you don't know what they're talking about, or they'll say something to you and say, you're lost. You know, there's that kind of disrespectful kind of thing. She was more like,
Yeah, she was a
and,
bit
and she
warmer with
taught
it.
me,
Yeah.
like she said, no, say this. Adukbe, or Afieni.
Yeah.
I think I said that right. But yeah, so she taught me with it. But I totally get what you're saying. It's not nice.
No.
Sometimes you feel alienated, and it wasn't of your choice.
And I do think like a lot of people, like not just Nigerians, but obviously that's who we're talking about, but they kind of like, they won't hold back on making you feel a way that you don't speak
your heritage,
or you don't. They'll kind of like mock you to your face.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
But I think mainly the reason in my case is just because, so if my mum and dad were both Nigerian and say both Yoruba, I think it's kind of assumed they would speak Yoruba at home. But with my mum speaking English, that's just, there was no Yoruba getting spoken in the house because who would my dad be speaking it to? I mean, he could have made a point of speaking it to me.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think if you go back to our parents' generation and like people that came over to this country, I think that it wasn't encouraged it was like, speak English. English is more
English.
acceptable. Do you know what I mean? If you're in
yeah,
England.
yeah,
So unless you were... So what I'm saying is, say, from my mum's perspective, she probably didn't think there was an advantage to me learning Yoruba. She would think, well, we're in England, speak English, you know, that kind of...
The Queen's language and all that.
Yeah, that was the kind... I'm not saying that's what my mum said, but that was the general consensus at that time.
Yeah.
So I don't think there was any sort of going out of your way to like, make sure... Like, I think now our generation are very different. If I had a partner now who spoke a different language, I'd embrace that and be like, teach that to our kids because then they're bilingual.
It's power.
Naturally.
It's power.
Yeah.
The more you know, the stronger you are.
And there's something they say about when you're bilingual, it opens up different parts of your brain.
Yeah.
So kids that speak different languages, in a nutshell, they're a bit smarter.
I can imagine, definitely, because you can decipher, analyse and understand different things. And then when you can communicate, because communication is the key, it's the main thing that everyone has to do and learn. So when you can communicate in different languages and levels, you're winning, innit?
Exactly.
Like, I mean, I don't know why, I'm not that biblically minded, but I know that you look fantastic, by the way. You look really good. I like that shirt you're wearing. Biblically, it said they separated the nations and gave them all different languages so they couldn't all communicate. Like I don't want to go out there. But can you imagine if everyone spoke one language? Like it would be mad.
What, mad good or bad?
I don't know whether it would be mad good or mad bad. I don't know. I couldn't even speculate because there's certain things that separate us that make us attractive, mysterious, like things that want to draw you towards them, and there's also stuff that make us repulsive, like unattractive or whatever.
Yeah.
So I couldn't speculate to whether or not it will be good or bad. I think it will be good in certain instances and bad in other instances. Do you know what I mean? The necessity to take time and learn other people's cultures because you don't know the language, that is something that's good. Having patience, even now, come hype. How that's made me, how I just slowed down my talking and the necessity for me to slow down to explain that. Yeah. And that's what it brings. Like, I know back in the day, won't digress anymore. I gotta get back onto you, Kemi. Because there's Kende and Kemi, Jess. If I call you Jess, Kemi, whatever. But now I forgot my point.
You said back in the day.
Back in the day, what was you talking about? What was you talking about? Beauty and languages.
If we all spoke one language.
If we all had the same language. I've lost it. It'll come back to me.
Yeah.
It will come back to me. But so being a Nigerian, mixed heritage, growing up here, how was that for you?
Fine. Yeah. Really, no issues that I can remember being a kid. It was what it was.
You come up in the 80s?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, my childhood was all through the 80s. Yeah.
Let's talk about that. That's what was you like as a child? Yeah,
What
we're
was
gonna
I
break
like?
it down. Yeah,
So my memories of childhood are really good, first and foremost.
that's good.
And I'm aware that that's not like so common. I hear a lot more people talking about like not so great childhood stories and stuff.
Like what?
Just like friends and peers. You know, there's a lot of talk about maybe having it hard when they were kids, whether it's financially, whether their parents were hard on them or abusive, or you know, there's a plethora of different things that people went through as kids. And so I think you hear a lot of stories. Like, I'm not suggesting everyone had a bad childhood, but I just hear it a lot.
Yeah.
Or that they say we went through a lot of hard times or whatever. But I can honestly say my childhood was
You just
great.
had fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Good.
So as I said, my mum and dad, they split up when I was 10. I was my mum's only child.
Okay.
So I grew up as an only child, but I have got siblings from my dad.
Yeah. So you got all that love, didn't you?
Yeah.
You got all that love just showered on you. You didn't have to share it or nothing. Love that.
Yeah. So, and my mum's like an amazing mum.
Of course she is.
Best mum
She's your
I
mum,
could
innit?
ask for.
She's your mum. Come on. Hold on a minute. Your mum's an amazing mum as well, isn't she? So is mine. Come on. Mine's the best mum you can have too.
Yeah.
Now I feel you though. Yeah. Go on.
No, but she was a lovely mum. She still is a lovely mum.
Yeah, good.
And so she kind of got me into a lot of things. So I had a spell at stage school.
Okay.
I did all the customary things, you know, dance.
What you wanted to do? Yeah. So you can tap.
Yeah, I can still tap dance.
I've done ballet as well, you know
Yeah.
that, right? I've done contemporary. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That was my mum never took me there, but I
Yeah.
did. I went, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
I wasn't really into the ballet though, but I did
Nah.
love the tap dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can still remember like all the tap
Moves.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Would you
yeah.
tap now?
Sorry?
Would you tap now?
Would I?
Yeah.
What in general or right this second?
No, but you got shoes on. Hold on a minute.
Hold on, let me just get my tap shoes out of my bag. I would, 100%. I reckon that would be so much fun.
Nice.
Like I'm just a proper that's my life. I'm a thrill seeker.
Yeah.
And I just like doing fun things all the time. So yeah, I've still got that. There's a lot of child in me.
Good.
But I'm not.
It comes out in your face and stuff as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not
good.
childish or immature, but there's a kid in me that wants to have fun, that wants to laugh and just enjoy life.
That's beautiful.
That's how I live my life.
Can you say that again for them? I'm not childish.
But there's still that child in me.
Yeah,
Because
it's
I feel like the
nice.
child in us is the purest form of us or the purest version of us. And as we grow up, life experiences and people and situations kind of beat that out of you. Not beat literally, but you know what I mean? And then by the time you're an adult, you're kind of like this kind of like refined, if you want to call it, version of yourself. But the raw version was the real one. But now you're this one that's been put in a box because you should do this and you're meant to live like that. And I don't.
There's no
I don't
meant
agree
or
with
there's
that.
no way to live. And what you said was what is apparent to me is so poignant. People always tell you, grow up. For what? So you can be miserable, I got to pay bills and be stressed. Don't grow up. You lot don't ever grow up. Be like Peter Bloodclot, Pan. I'm telling you, look at this beautiful woman, Jess, Kemi, in front of me. Look at the smile on her face. Take a look. Look at the youthfulness. She's not childish, but she still has the inner child. That's it.
Yeah.
Look, I can see it shining at you. Go on.
And so I just think, life is just about being your most authentic self.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you are as a child.
Yeah.
Because kids don't think, they just be. They just live and do. Do you know what I mean? But as we get older, everything's very calculated, and you know, even like professions that people go into, a lot of the time it's not what they love. It's just what they think they should do or what their parents think they should do, and then they're not enjoying what they do. So I don't subscribe to that. I think the only way that we need to grow up, let's call it, as people is emotionally. I think emotionally we need to mature to be able to handle life and deal with people and just deal with things in an appropriate way. And it's very apparent when people are emotionally immature. Like, you know, I see people there in their 30s and 40s, but emotionally, they're like 12. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it causes them problems in life because they're not able to interact with people in an appropriate way. When, you know, they're all right on a surface level, but when it gets deep and, you know what I mean, life issues, that they're not equipped.
What do you think that is?
A lot of the time they've got emotional issues, and I personally think it stems a lot from trauma.
Childhood trauma.
Yeah, a lot of people go through childhood trauma and it stunts them emotionally.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it could just be that the way they've been raised. Like,
yeah. So what? Okay. So this is the argument. This is my thing for you now. Like, I am who I am, and I have to attribute to myself. So I can't speak for other people. But I know how things break down in me, and I had some incidents recently where I had to control myself, and it was. I wanted to almost, for want of a better phrase, throw my toys out the pram because people have pissed me off.
Yeah.
But I could see the outcome of me throwing my toys at the pram. So that prevented me from throwing my toys at the pram. So therefore, even though my emotions were immature enough to manifest and flare themselves up, my intellect was enough to not react in that way. So that I don't know if it's not to contradict what you're saying, but if it's a combination of immaturity or emotional maturity and intellect, because I know I'm not saying trauma is what it is and everything else, but before going into certain things, I've had trauma, everyone's had trauma. You think you got that thought process as whether or not you care about the ramifications of what's going to happen. Do I care? I don't care if I go to jail. I don't care if I upset this person in front of me. I don't care if I look like an idiot and I'm crying because I never got a biscuit or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people just don't care. And other people have got more self-respect, you know? I'm just trying to fight a different angle because there's times I really want to fucking lose it or cry or whatever, and I haven't got those emotions still manifest inside me, and I still call them immature emotions or baby emotions or young emotions.
Yeah.
But how what's the word?
It's how you allow the emotions to manifest. Because I think we all want to do things that are not appropriate.
Exactly, that's my point. Exactly.
But, so maybe the actual title I've given it of emotional maturity or immaturity, that might not be the right title.
Yeah.
Because we've all got a child in us, that inner child.
Yeah.
But I think
I'd make you right. So I'd make you right, but I think it's that and some other stuff as well. So I'll make you right in what you said. But go on.
So, but if you think of a child, so my daughter, who's 6, she has not emotionally matured. She hasn't reached emotional maturity. So when she feels a certain way, there's nothing holding her back.
Good.
She will, throw herself down on the floor.
Yeah.
Because that's how she feels in that moment.
Yeah.
So I guess, but then as an adult, you're not going to throw yourself down on the floor. You might feel like it, but I guess your mental maturity...
You get sectioned if you throw yourself
Yeah, your mental maturity says, all right, how can I deal with this in a more appropriate, controlled way that's not going to have dire consequences?
Yeah. Or maybe like a prat or anything like that.
So I guess it is a combination, what you're saying, definitely.
I think so. Your fondest childhood memory. What do you get up to me as young? I'm gonna break this up backwards, forwards. So anything you want to talk about, you think about that, you bring it up, okay? But I want to ask you about your phone. You got such a lovely smile, you know. And she got a nice smile.
Thank you.
It's like your face lights up.
Do you know
I'm not gassing you up. I'm just letting you know.
It's because I'm just so happy. Like,
good.
And like
good.
now I'm excited.
Give me some. I'm happy too now. I was a bit like, ooh. Yeah, I'm good now.
Fondest childhood memory.
Well, I was in trouble.
Oh, so many. So I tell you the first thing that came to my mind, which is an indication it might be.
Yeah, go on.
Is being about, say, 9, 10 and being at my nan's house with my cousins, and we were all roughly the same age. And our parents used to like going out on the weekends, partying and stuff. And we always used to stay with my nan, and we'd get the record player on. Now I'm showing my age.
Record player,
player.
Don't scratch the records.
And we'd play music, and we'd have a little party, just like me, my nan, my cousins. We'd just be dancing around, and that's a really fond memory for me.
Nice.
Like, music's always been a massive part of my life and my family's life. So I guess that's why that came to mind. And yeah, just being in that warm, loving environment with family and listening to music. Music's like a food of one of the many foods of life.
Foods of life, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Another memory, a good childhood memory is summer holidays.
Come on, 6 week holidays, like what it is now.
Yes, this.
It's not the same, is it? It's not the same as before, is it?
It's not the same, but it's so funny because. So I'll tell you my memory, and then I'll tell you what I was going to say. So just that memory of waking up, you have your breakfast, have your wash bath, whatever, and then your friends knocking. Oh, could you just come out to play? And that was it. You was gone for the day.
Listen.
On your bikes.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, we was on our bikes.
I got something for you.
Like a little gang on bikes going up and down the streets. At that point, I was in West London, up and down the streets of West London.
Yeah.
And not coming home till it's near enough getting dark.
Yeah, of course. That was and you could be safe.
Yeah.
I have to sing the song. I can't sing, but I have to sing. School's out for summer.
Yeah. So yeah.
I love that. So that was what it used to be. I don't know how the kids are now, but literally, your friend would come over, knock the door, get your bike, be out, like, yes!
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have to go nowhere. You'd pick the road and drive around the flats, play runouts, pick blackberries or whatever. But
there was no
crab
plan.
apples.
You just was together and just do whatever.
Yeah.
I remember like climbing up on walls and just sitting up on the wall.
Come on.
Just sitting there chatting, jumping off the wall, maybe hurting yourself.
Yeah.
But it was just so that freedom, that childness, that child
innocence.
Yeah.
The freedom of your mind as well. It's all gone. I'm glad you said this because it's like, nah, look at everything was there, the internet, the this. And modern technology is a beautiful thing. But the simpler things in life, I remember climbing up a freaking wall, any old stupid little wall, but getting to it was almost reaching the pinnacle of a mountaintop.
Yeah.
And so it could have been a little old wall, you ain't climbed it, but and you sit up there, you talk to your friends, and whatever, you know, like Chris was like 5p, I suppose we were a couple of pence.
Yeah.
Those would, and we didn't realise how good we had it.
I know.
Like we could look back. I had a really good childhood. We had it really good.
Yeah, it was just so much fun. But it's funny. The other day, I was saying to my partner that
big up D. We keep it like that.
I was saying like, so where we live, where I live now, I live in Balham, and it's a really, really nice neighbourhood. Like, everyone's friendly. It's like, it feels like an old school vibe around there. Everyone's neighbourly. Like, I know quite a few people on my road, and people pop in and you pop round there. And
for a cup of sugar?
Yeah, exactly. Like, literally, I've had a neighbour come over to me for sugar. Nice. I've gone over to my neighbour. Have you got an egg? Like,
nice.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And so there's quite a lot of kids on the road, and so my daughter gets to play out with the kids. And I said to him, I was like, this is so nice that she's getting to do this. I said, this is almost our childhood. I mean, she's still young, so she's not going to be gallivanting all over the place. But like, she spent the whole day the other day just out on her bike and her scooter with her friends, and they were up and down, and there's an adult popping their heads out every now and again. And I was like, she's getting that experience, because not every area is safe enough to do that. Yeah. You know?
Would you think about that as a reflection in the health of our children as well? Because if I think about that, like, literally, like, a healthy child, full of energy, full of questions, full of its own energy, like, so throw him or herself down on the floor when they don't like something, dance and sing when they get something they like. Do you know what I mean? Really happy. But let me not lose my question again. What do you think about how that has changed? Because that's like, what you're talking about your daughter doing and what we've got to do, we were allowed to be children. Yeah. We wasn't shown, almost, the curtain wasn't pulled back but from the Wizard of Oz or anything too early. Yeah. I think the curtain's pulled back way too early these days now. If there even is a curtain anymore. Because I see kids in prams on their smartphones and do what they're doing, which is what it is. It's a sign of the times. But then, as human beings, that's how we are supposed to grow. You know, you couldn't when you take a lion and put it in a cage. Sorry that's my first time I swore today, but put it in a cage, and it doesn't grow properly. So when you take away the childhood from the children, you know, like, that's that running out, like your daughter being out until she was tired of being out and coming home, opposed to being at home, winding you up, watching TV, you getting upset with her, giving her food that make her hyperactive. I'm just using an example. You've just made an epiphany for me. Like, the children of today, if they had what we had, it'd be a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
Whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah, I think it's a real shame that a lot of kids don't get to just be kids and have that,
Just be.
that freeness, you know. And it's the things that kids want to do is so different to what adults kind of structure for them to do.
Yeah.
All these activities and devices and this and that. It's not natural. And whilst I'm not against any of it, I see the benefit of them just being allowed to just be.
Yeah.
So like little things like the other day my daughter's friend came over and they're in the garden and they're just digging up with mud.
Yeah, getting dirty. Yeah.
Pouring, transferring, digging.
Simple
and my
stuff.
first instinct is, oh, you lot are getting all dirty. And then I stopped myself. I was like,
Good.
they're just doing kid stuff and they'll get dirty and then they'll have a bath and that'll be the end of it. And when I was a kid, I used to do the same thing. I was out in my nan's garden just digging about, doing nothing.
Yeah.
But you'd be out there for hours.
Yeah.
And I think that's how kids learn, you know. Also, kids need to be bored at times because it helps their imagination and it helps them, you know, they can't be reliant on being stimulated all the time. It's not good for them.
It's not good at all. That's what my point I want to make. I get so excited.
Yeah.
This is the origin of this childhood depressions and frustrations and certain other things and certain things that are manifesting. I'm seeing in the youth today because I think this is this is one part of it, like which is they're not allowed to be children. They're not allowed to be bored sometimes. Not allowed to have fun. Not allowed to just go outside and do what you're doing. If there's too much emphasis put on the material rather than just the existence kind of thing, it's mad.
Yeah.
It's so mad.
But I just, it's hard though because I feel like people always say, oh, it's not, it's really dangerous now and it's not like it used to be. I don't actually think it's necessarily more dangerous. I just think we're very aware of everything now. With the internet, everything that happens, we know about it. But like, let's just say paedophiles, for example. They've always been around. They're not new.
Motherfuckers.
But it's just, you know, and you speak to people of any age, whether it's our age, older, you always hear people who have been through some sort of abuse. So it's not a new thing. But now I just feel like it feels like it's everywhere. So parents are paranoid and they're worried and they don't want to, you know. So I get it. But then it goes too far the other way where certain parents don't let their kids go out. You know, they go out.
Wrap them in cotton wool, you mean?
Exactly. And they go out only with their parents. And obviously, I'm not suggesting I want my daughter patrolling the streets by herself, but I think her being out with her friends and, you know, an adult just kind of like at a distance supervising, but then being able to explore and even just their interactions, like they might have little arguments or whatever, but they need to do that. That's how they learn and develop and grow. Like, you know, conflict resolution and stuff. You can't be there like a helicopter parent all the time. That's not benefiting them.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all.
You know,
not at all.
So sometimes when they're playing, they keep coming, oh, Mum, he did this, or oh, Kemi did that. I go, you lot sort it out between you. Like, not because I don't care, but I'm like, you need to work out how you're gonna resolve this and then be friends afterwards without an adult always intervening. But yeah, I just think the more natural their whole kind of environment can be without everything, like you say, without all the technology, the better.
Yeah.
And the kids love it. They appreciate.
And you can do that for them.
Yeah, they appreciate the simplicity.
Yeah, you can do that for them. I think like, because we had people like in my big sister, God bless her, other people used to take us out, like picnics, Devil's Punch Bowl, certain places. We didn't want to fucking go. But when we got there, we were like, hey! And enjoyed it. Yeah. But we didn't know we would enjoy certain little things until we was taken and made to do them. Yeah. So I totally agree with you, man. After your parents split, how did you take that? Because you see you had a great childhood. How did you take that? How did that manifest in your life? Was it a good split? Did you have 2 households, 2 birthdays, 2 presents? How was that for you? Because you're still well-rounded. Some people I've spoken to on the show, they'd be like, oh, no, when that was a thing. That was their trauma. Yeah. That was the thing that became the trauma, but they worked through it and everything. But, yeah, so how was that for you? To be
honest with you, I don't remember it impacting me that much. Now, I can't say for sure whether it did, but my memory, I don't remember anything specific at that point in time where I felt differently. I think I just accepted it. And my mum and dad, they were quite amicable. So you know, I used to spend time with both of them. And it was fine. Like, it was no issue. But when I was 16, I actually went to live with my dad.
Okay. Ooh,
Yeah.
hello. Why?
Do you know what? It was only because, so me and my dad were really close. We had a good relationship, and me and my mum were as well. So it wasn't a preference thing. But when I was about 12, 13, me and my mum moved out of London. And I didn't like being out of London. So as soon as I left school, I said to my mum, yeah, I'm going back to London.
It's a London thing.
Yeah, exactly. And that was my home, and that was what I was used to. And I was like, oh, I just want to be back there. So she said, well, you can, you know, go and live with your dad. And I was like, okay, yeah.
Go on.
But it
What
was,
you done? No, sorry, man. No, go and live with your father. Go to your father. I know you must base it.
Yeah.
Go to your daddy. Yeah, go on.
but there was no hard feelings. It was like, oh, you want to, because I probably suggested it. I was like, you know, I've probably said I want to live with my dad, and my mum's like, yeah, fine. So I went to live with my dad, started college. I went to South London.
You study?
So at 16, I studied fashion design.
Ooh, hello.
Yeah, I went to Croydon College and did fashion. And
You from
then-
West, but you went south.
Yeah, because my dad was in South. So
Okay.
that's where I went. And then, yeah, ever since then, I've more or less always lived in South London. I had a couple of spells out of South, but that's where I always come back to.
What do you think with Dur South? We used to play ball at the YMCA. It's Holloway. Go on.
No, I love South London. Yeah.
South, right. See, I got lost in South London the other day. I don't really like South London that much. I like the
Really?
people. Yeah, I got lost going to my brethren's thing, Big Scoop. Big up Big Scoop. I went to perform. You know Big Scoop, poet.
No,
Well, I went to perform. My man has his event in Bexley something. Yeah.
Bexley Heath.
Bexley something. Remember, I'm from over north, and I'm from over here. Like
Yeah.
Bexley something. So I left that. I got a bus. Then I got a train. Then I got another bus. I was in South. Then I got a bus. I can't remember what station I got the bus to. I got a bus to the station. Then I had to take a train to get to East Croydon or West Croydon, something like that.
Yeah.
But got on the train, it was like 5 different platforms. The people told me to go to the wrong. I went to Clapham Junction. Clapham Junction is like 5 different places you get on. Wrong train.
Yeah.
Went the wrong way. Get back on the train back to East Croydon, West
Oh
Croydon.
my
Got to
God,
West
that
Croydon, had
sounds
to take the
like a
tram.
mission.
Got on the tram. But these times I'm vexed. I'm already vexed. Like, this is 2.5 hours. I'm
You've
vexed.
been on every mode of transport.
Yeah, I'm
so
vexed,
far.
and it's not like it's short journeys. Like, it's not like 10-minute journeys. Like going far. I'm on a tram. I was like, alright, cool. I was pissed, but I kept saying, let me not get. You know that what we talk about being a child and intellect and let me not get angry because it doesn't make sense. It's not going to help you getting angry. You want to go into the show. I wanted to turn back. I didn't turn back. Oh, just keep going. Go off the tram at the wrong stop because of all this other stuff. So I got stopped too early. So then I met these lovely. It was I think it was from India or Pakistan. I can't remember. But they were lovely. A mother and 2 daughters. They were so nice. They gave me a direction. Tell me what bus to get. I got the bus. I got the Ras Clark bus in the wrong direction. So I got the right bus in the wrong direction. So I'm out in the sticks. I'm way out in the sticks. And I can't remember why I started telling you this story. But
Because I said I live in South.
no, yes,
I like
that's it. I don't like South. Bus, train, tram, stay in North if you can. East is all right. Love a bit of West. South, if you're going to go South, stay around the Victoria line areas. When it starts getting overground and tram and all that, God bless you lot in South London. Do you know what I mean? Moving on swiftly, my lovely friend Jess. Yes. So, you studied fashion.
Yeah.
For how long? How was that? Did you
So-
graduate?
I did 2 years fashion at college, and then I went to uni and did fashion promotion.
Nice.
Then in between that degree, I did work experience. So I was a fashion stylist.
You got a degree.
Well, I kind of left before I finished.
You left before you finished. Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, but I'm just laughing because when I look back on it, I'm like, oh,
You shouldn't have left.
I left in my final year.
Yeah,
But I don't know, I was just over it.
you had enough.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's like, it's a double-edged sword because you're sitting there smiling, which is a good thing. You're not like, I left the room.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's in your rear view as well. If you just stayed a couple more months, you would have had it in your back pocket and could have used it or not used it as well. It's just one of them things.
Do you know what? I regretted it for a long time. And then I realised that it wasn't any detriment to my life, and I just let go of it. I thought, I'm doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
Having a degree wasn't going to
enhance your life
Yeah.
or make your life less. But you know that the information you know, like you still know. Even though you might not got the certificate, if you studied up until your last year,
Yeah,
like, I know
so,
stuff that people don't know. Like, and if you, how can I say it? I could do so many things, but I haven't got the paperwork to do it. But you
Yeah.
could do so many things because you still learn that stuff. So it's
Exactly.
still all good. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, but yeah, so while I was doing that degree, I was a stylist for a while,
Hairstylist?
which was
clothes stuff,
fashion stylist.
Could you style me?
Yeah, probably.
All right, cool, go. We'll look at that later.
But yeah, and I also did a bit of fashion PR, and that was really good. Like the styling, especially because I was working like for magazines and doing shoots, and I did a lot of music
Covers and
related fashion and TV and stuff. So yeah, that was cool. But then after a while, I just kind of like lost my love for fashion. Fashion started going a bit in a different direction that I didn't understand, and I was like,
It changes.
this is for me, really.
Yeah.
And then I just decided I was going into music. And well, not the DJing at that point. So at this stage, I would have been like early 20s. I started singing and songwriting, and I did that for a while.
Go on, give us two bars.
Oh no, I'm not going to start singing now.
Give us two bars. I sang for you, right? Remember I sang for you already? Remember, I was singing another song for you. Now go. Let me just stop you. I'm going to try to make you sing before the end of this interview, though. Go on. Let me see a couple of notes.
But yeah, so I did
Singing and
songwriting.
What kind of genre?
So it was R&B / hip hop. I did a little bit of rapping as well.
Yeah, nice. Who was your influences? Total? Any of them?
I was into all of that.
Total,
all
right,
the all the 90s music. I was a heavy influence.
We're in the same. Come from the same era.
Yeah. I think we're around the same age.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
44.
You look a bit younger than me.
I'm 44. So.
Yeah, you look 34.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm a lot older than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, way.
Okay.
I'll be 50 soon.
No way.
Yeah, way.
Well, you're 49.
I never said I'm 49. I said I'll be 50 soon. Come on. Whoa.
No, but that indicates, that makes me feel like 50 is your next birthday.
I mean, no. I'm on the other side of 45, so it's coming. It's around the corner. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what that indicates to me. If I was 35, I wouldn't be saying I'm 40 or 50 soon. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, so getting back to the lovely jazz.
I was really influenced by a lot of the 90s, like Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, I would have said that. But did you pull your stuff out on any of the tracks? You're like, oh my God, why do you leave me? I hate you. Was you like, I love you? Was you like Adina Howard? I be a freak in the morning, freak in the evening. Or was you like, I don't know, like Total, Jodeci, or who else was there back then? There's SWV.
I did used to write a lot of songs that were personal to how I felt. So it was a good combination though, because as I'm thinking back now, there was a few like heartbreak songs, but then there was also
Sing.
See, oh,
Come on, you sing one, none of them.
Hey?
You ain't got none of them ready. You don't know none of them.
Right, let me think about it.
All right.
As time goes on, I'll see what comes to mind.
We're gonna get concert for this motherfucker today. Sorry.
Yeah, a couple heartbreak songs.
Yeah.
And then, but some more kind of raunchier ones.
Yeah.
Kind of party ones.
Yeah.
So there was a good
Mixture.
kind of mixture.
Yeah. Did you release anything?
No, I didn't release any. It's funny because I was really close to getting signed on a couple of occasions. And but just that almost but not quite. At one point I was one of the what do you call
Contestants.
Yeah. Mobo, the Mobo Unsung nominee. That's the word. Yeah, I was a nominee for the Mobo Unsung Award.
Unsigned or unsigned? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think they called it unsung, but it's like unsigned award. So I performed for that, and I did quite a few bits, but just got to the point where I was like, well, I don't know if it was a confidence thing. I was confident and I liked what I was doing, but I just got to this point where I decided it probably wasn't going to happen as a career. But that was probably my self-talk that told me that. If I pursued it, I might have made it.
I think you can still do it now, but obviously things change and stuff. Did you incorporate your dance with your singing?
Not not really. No, it was just the singing mainly. But you know, my singing voice was pretty average, and I knew what level I was at. I wasn't under any illusions. I just enjoyed singing. I had a nice-ish tone to my voice, but I wasn't like, you know, I was no like Mariah Carey, or I didn't have that power. So I just kind of said to myself, yeah, it's probably
not for you. You took yourself out of it.
Yeah, I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt like there was so many singers out there that were like amazing, and I was just okay. So I just, that was it. I left that.
Oh.
Now I'm telling my story. I just feel like I'm constantly going, yeah, so then I left that anyway.
No.
But it's just life, isn't it?
Do you know what, right, Jess, yeah? Even as we're talking, because we do this, and it's like, I take two sides of this, because there's a lot of stuff that have similarities in life with everybody. So I take from people's stories and stuff. And then I listen to people and hear what they're saying and hear where they're coming from and stuff. And when you're self-analytical, you can find yourself saying what you just said. Oh, yeah, maybe I sound like a bit negative. But if you actually look at it and peel it back, you sound more like your daughter that throws herself down on the floor. When your soul knows something is not for you, you have no qualms in moving on and going to the next thing, which is a good trait to have in life. Because wasting your time, which is the only thing you can't get back, is the worst possible thing you could do in life. So just like, you're powerful. What you're saying is powerful. That's not for me. Boom, let me stop. People stay years in stuff that's not for them, and then they realise and they say, I wasted years. So bang.
And you know what? You're right. I'm very much a person who, if my heart's not in something, I'm not doing it anymore.
Which is good.
But I'm not even doing it for one more day. Like once I get that realisation,
that's a Nigerian in you, you know.
Like I've had jobs where I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling this job, and I just leave on that day. I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming back. I remember once I had a job actually. It was just like a part-time thing to fill in while I was studying, and it was in this bar, and I remember I went there and I just didn't like the vibe. It was just like my first shift, and after about half hour I thought, nah, it's not for me. And I said to them, I'm gonna have to go, I've got a headache. And they're like, you can't leave now. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely leaving. And I never went back.
I love it. It's good.
But yeah, no, you're right. I should think of it more positive, because it's about knowing what you want and knowing what suits you. And I think when you know your mind, like you said, you just keep it moving.
Yeah.
And it's not like I've just, you know, that's my journey, isn't it? Like you try different things.
Hold on a minute. I want to get you on my phone now. I want to record it. Just in case. Let's just see where it goes for my life. Because I want you to repeat what you just said about knowing yourself. So what do I do now? I just go and then I press live, innit? And I just press the button, yeah?
Yeah. Start live.
Is it working? Checking connection, it says.
Yeah. Give it a sec.
Checking connection. We're checking connection. We better go live. We're now live. I don't know about this. We're live. Live. Life is live. We live your life. All right, now, Jess, we're in the studio. We're filming another episode of Life Talks with the Wizard. We've got lovely Jess. Let's spin his camera around. If we could spin his camera around. Look at my state of my boat race. Mate. My face is like, mate, like pizza face. I've got to start drinking more water. Yes, Jess. So
Hey.
I want to ask you. What's that? I want to ask you. Let's get you in the thing. I want to ask you. What was you just talking about? What the power of listening to the inner voice. What you was just talking about now? Just repeat it.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Basically, when you know yourself, you know what's for you and what's not for you, and then you just move on to the next thing, and it's all part of your journey. Basically, I was saying, you know, and what I was about to say is that was my journey, but it took me to where I was supposed to be.
What did? Repeat that again. What happened?
Well, the leaving things that I wasn't feeling at the time, I probably felt like I was quitting or giving up, but they were just things I wasn't supposed to do long term.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it led me to where I am now, which is where I was supposed to be. And what I do now, as you know, I DJ and I produce and I present on radio. And that's what I was supposed to be doing.
Yes, and you're a beautiful person, you've got good energy, and
Thank
you're a
you.
mother, and you're a partner, and you're a daughter, and blah, 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 come on.
Yeah,
Look at that energetic smile, I love it, go on.
Yeah, and now I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Now I don't feel that feeling of, oh, I'm not sure if this is for me. I'm like, no, this is definitely 100% what I was born to do.
Yeah.
And so all that other stuff is just experiences. And yeah.
You live your life, listen to your inner voice.
Yeah.
Don't do anything you don't want to do.
No.
Be happy.
Like, I'm always telling my friends, and they're like, "Oh, I've got a dilemma about this thing." I'm like, "Do you want to do it?" No. If you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
What's the consequences if you don't do it? If it's not death or prison, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. All right, we're gonna go back to filming properly. That's live. Whatever you're doing, I love you. Everyone that waved that, I see you come to again. We've got our event on Sunday. You know, if you've been invited, you've been invited. If you haven't, you'll watch it on this channel. Bye bye. How do you stop this thing now?
Just end recording.
Press end, yeah? Where's end? Yeah! Press live.
Make sure you save it.
Do that for me, please. I don't know what I did. Thank you. Yes, we're still talking though. We're still here in the studio. Love is Jessica. And we're going to go on to... So, after you decided to stop doing that stuff and you got into... After fashion, you decided fashion wasn't for you after a little while. You said it started going sideways or something, didn't you? You said it started going the way you didn't understand it.
Yeah, I just didn't connect with it anymore.
Yeah.
And I just thought, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what did you do?
What, after fashion?
Yeah, you thought no. You said, well, you thought no, and just sat down and didn't do nothing. What did you do after that? What was your?
Well, after the fashion, that's when I went to the music, the singing and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And
the songwriting and stuff. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. My bad.
No, that's all right. That was my next step. And then once I finished doing that, I was just kind of like, after the singing and songwriting, I think I was in a phase of just that wild phase. So I was just raving.
Yeah.
And just, that was
party time.
Yeah, it was
party
just...
time. You do know we was both on the scene at the same time, innit?
Yeah.
You remember I was out there, innit? So I was raving, party.
Yeah. Raving became like almost an occupation. Like that was what took up the majority of my week.
Yeah.
And then if I wasn't doing that, I was on holiday.
Yeah.
And I was just living life having
good.
a great time.
Good.
And sometimes like you have those moments of when we were young, we kind of, you spunk a lot of money and I'm like, but you know what? I wouldn't change it. Because now I've got those memories.
Yeah.
And those memories are amazing. And, that's, like I said, it's all part of the journey.
See,
and that's,
it's beautiful. Now, what I would say, only me, this is you, me, the only thing I would change, I wouldn't have spunked so much money, because I made a lot of fucking money. I spunked a lot of money. I would have spunked half it, and kept them. But, like you said, the memories that were made, you can't bring them back. And when I look, because I still work in certain industries and around, like, I'm out. Like, a lot of people now do security. I'm around. I'm about it. I'm out there. And you see the younger generation, you see people raving and doing stuff, but it's not the same as when we was raving. And it's like it's just totally different. Like, it's more, even though it wasn't Magdalene and bravado before, it's more bravado what you're wearing and
it's
so
all
on.
for show now.
Yeah.
And
Well, you don't even go in and party. You don't party.
The vibe is so different. When we went out, we were out for the vibe.
Yeah.
The club, the energy, the music.
With the music, the dancing, after parties. Come on.
Yeah. But now it's just like, this is going to look good on the gram.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel sorry for them because they don't know that pure partying that we used to do.
It's almost like fake. It's fake partying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying people don't go out and enjoy themselves, but for me, even like, and God bless everyone that does stuff, and I'm guilty of doing them things too, like, almost like when I have a really, really good moment, now, is it good? Yeah. Now I want to kind of share it, or like I've been guilty of like, when I've got a nice plate of food, want to take pictures of it. Yeah. But because I'm old school as well, like, while I'm doing that, my fucking food's getting cold, mate. Like, I'm like, nah, man, allow the gram. What about the man? You know what I mean? Allow the gram, let's have a party if you can. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's mad.
And back in the day, like, we didn't have phones and all of that to capture all the stuff, but we still remember it.
Yeah.
I still remember being 16 and going jungle raving, and I remember specific raves and outfits, and it's all in my mind as a photograph or a video. And I just feel like when you're filming everything, you're not in the moment.
Yeah.
You're not fully there.
You have to stop to do it.
you're not fully present. And I just think we had a much purer experience. Do you know what I mean? And it was just that euphoric kind of. But it's going back now. There's quite a few venues and stuff that are saying no phones allowed. Yeah, because they just want people to come and enjoy
a party. Yeah,
the party.
The venue, and even that now. Like talking to people, I like we've digressed a lot. But I want to go back to you. I want to talk about you, Jess, because we're here about just about you. It's about your life. Even though I haven't got my live talks. Yeah. So anyway, what was I gonna fucking say now? I digressed and I forgot what I was gonna say. Just that whole partying and going out and enjoying yourself. It's just like it's not the same as when we was younger. If they take the phones away, you could go in a rave. The communication's gone. People don't know how to, like, hey, you know what, you look beautiful. Can I talk to you? Okay, good. Even have a conversation. It's almost like even that romantic thing's gone. It's like the one, they just want push, or they just want dick, or they what you got Balenciagas, yeah, you got Jordan, you got this, okay, yeah, cool, you can roll. What is this? Like, it's
sad.
Yeah. What do you like? What are your aspirations? What kind of food you like? Can we hold hands, a little giggle and a laugh? And then even now, relationships are just so, it's just like cheap. Someone said it. I was watching something on the internet the other day. It's like if you've got, I don't know, what is it, like 4,000 cameras, you can charge a certain price. This is something else, isn't it? If you've got 1,000, like 14,000, the price goes down. There's so many good-looking people out there. There's so many people who are ready to have a relationship out there or ready to give it up that people's value of having something is gone. Yeah. There's no value because I'll get the next person or the next person.
Well, it's all the
and the next person
apps and all of that as well, isn't it? It's so easy to just access people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like instead of the 4,000, you got 14,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
You got a bigger pool, so you're less inclined to work.
Yeah, it's hard. I think it's really hard now for people with dating and relationships and stuff because it's all just become this weird. It's not authentic anymore. People don't go out, meet people, like you said, have a proper conversation. They're just swiping on apps, just looking at people's pictures. And it's and half of them are not even the people. Like there's all this catfishing going on and like I've been watching a lot of things about dating fraud lately. Dating fraud is a massive thing,
What do you mean?
Well, basically, people go onto these dating sites and they prey on certain people to get money out of them. So, like, they'll be talking for a certain amount of time and then it's like,
there's a problem.
Oh, I got a situation. Oh, just send me 10 grand. Yeah, because, and then obviously once they've got that first 10 grand, they know this person, this green light now.
Yeah.
And I've been watching, I don't know why, when you watch one thing on YouTube and then all of a sudden it thinks that's all you want to watch. So it keeps giving me more of these. But I've watched a couple and I'm like, it's just astonishing to me that people will give their money freely to people they've never met. But a lot of them, what the scammers are doing, they're getting pictures. A lot of them use like people from the military because they think that if a woman thinks she's talking to someone from the military, that person seems more trustworthy. He's a soldier. He's fighting for the country. He's a decent guy. But they're not that person. They're like a 21-year-old in a cafe in Ghana or Nigeria posing to be this person.
Please, Key, not just because they're also in Asia, in India.
Oh
they're
no, they're anywhere. But
like no, because we get a bad rap enough as it is.
I know,
I just want to let you know there's call centers in India that I know about that have been set up. Like, I'm not such thing.
No.
Africa, even in Eastern Europe, the Eastern Europeans do a hell of a lot of this stuff. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
Sorry,
Jess.
Please leave my Ghanaians and Nigerians alone. We are trying, man.
Do you know what? I'm the last person to want to victimize our people.
But what I will say, not to cut you, get back into it, is both men and women are doing it as well.
Yeah.
It's atrocious. And what they're preying on that, what it is that thing of loneliness, of longing for wanting something. The money doesn't mean nothing to these people. Some of these people have been working hard for this money and saving stuff, but they want that connection.
Yeah.
And people are preying on these things within the people, that the human thing, that human emotion, to have that connection. And people will give anything for that connection. And that's where that comes. People, the manipulative people are there, horrible people. The people that are taking money from, they're horrible people, because they're not taking the money from the people. They're taking that it's almost, I can't put it into words. That that dream of being with
They're
someone.
shattering the
They're
dream.
shattering their dream because they don't care about the 10 grand.
Yeah.
If they can give it, that doesn't mean nothing to them. They want what they're gonna give. You know what I'm saying? And when they lose the 10 grand, that's one thing. But when they don't get the other thing, fucking hell, bruv.
Yeah.
Come on, it's sad, man. People could kill themselves over this shit, man.
They're being interviewed saying, "I just wanted someone to love me.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted," and my heart breaks. I'm like,
It's sad.
Yeah, and I saw today where the guys are posing as girls so they can get money
from
off
guys.
Of
The
yeah.
guy and I can't say bad things about the people that are giving up their money. Because they're just humans.
Yeah.
They're just longing for something. It's the people that are taking it. They're the pieces of shit as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter what you've got going through, what you've got going on. If you've got that mind intellectual enough to build that facade of a story, do something else with that imagination. Write a fucking film script, you cunt.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
But it's
Horrible.
It's become an industry now. Like, it's a proper business. They've got networks and one guy they caught him regarding one woman. When they took his phone, he was talking to 80 women that he was getting money out of. 80.
Wow.
Like, that was his full-time thing, was just sending all these messages.
Yeah, it's sad. But
But
just the
anyway,
world we're living in, yeah, it's like the darkness. You really go down that dark path. There's so much darkness. Like there's like that's not a victimless crime, but it's a crime. I'm more upset about, and I don't want to digress too much about the when they're kidnapping kids and taking their organs and shit. That's, to me, that's the worst. That's bad. Like, in certain countries they're doing that, and people that buy these things, rich people trying to live longer. Like, you hear all the different darkness that's going on in this world. Do you know what I mean? To me, that's one of the darkest ones. Paedophilia is disgustingly dark. There's other stuff that's dark, but that when you're harvesting people's fucking organs, kids, like, out of other countries and stuff, like, there's some dark people in this world, man.
Today I was thinking about all the mad stuff that goes on, and more or less everything boils down to money. And I'm like, wow, how have people, as like the human race, become so soulless that they will do anything for money? Like, absolutely anything. Like what you just said, this harvesting organs, trafficking people, trafficking children. It's like, does money mean so much to you that you've got no humanity, no empathy, no conscience? It's just,
But then it's like, some places they made it you can't do anything or get anything without money. Like, these things, the same humans stealing and stuff, the other humans have put the value on this thing. Well, they hasn't got that value. Like, it's just all a head fuck. We're gonna implode. It's gonna have to get to that apocalyptic state at some point. I feel comfortable in the fact that it may not happen in my lifetime, but I feel sad that I've got children that will happen in their lifetime. But I just don't know. Like, the human will survive, will prevail. We've had a good fucking innings as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
My thing landed on a good square. Like, and I'm enjoying my kids and I'm enjoying life. And also, you can be the change that you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
And there are good humans out there. There's good things going on. We're seeing it not dark, but there's good things going on too. Do you know what I mean?
There is. But yeah, there's a lot of. I just feel like the human mind has been very corrupted,
contaminated,
you know what I mean? And just we're not
distorted.
We're not living in our natural state
at all.
Even like you and I, who are not into all that stuff we just spoke about. I feel like I'm not going to speak for you, but for myself, your life's still centered around money.
Of course,
you always got to work.
Because you can't do anything without it.
Yeah, it's just that I'm not prepared to do anything,
outside the box for it. Yeah,
to get my money.
Say that word again. Heinous. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's like I will go with that, and the value for money. Sometimes, like, this is the thing as well, which a lot of you kids, a lot of the people out there, I want you to hear this and heed my words or someone else's words, whatever they are. Half the stuff you're getting hold of, you don't really need or want. You're not going to enjoy it. You've been told that stuff will make you happy, but don't make you happy. Like, you have to look really, really, really look inside yourself and see what makes you tick. And you'll find that none of this stuff does it for you. You'll find that you could do a Jack Reacher, or when I say that, Jack Reacher's a character, but he wears one jacket, he's got his t-shirt, he washes his bag in the night, cleans his trousers. You can live with one pair of clothes. You don't need all this stuff. And you'll find if anyone's going to judge you upon what you're wearing, they're not worth even fucking talking to in the first place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they're going to judge you on it, they could talk to you, but it doesn't make no sense. So I think, like where we are in the world today, it's like it's down to us as both being parents and being family members to help educate and teach people what it's about, and then to create those memories like what you spoke about the record player and your grandma and your whatever for your daughter, and then for other people. So then you go out and you be in a rave and you realise, no, this isn't fun. What I was doing with mum was fun. Me baking the cake and licking at the bowl or washing at the bowl. That was fun, watching it rise and eating at a mum and sitting down and having that one-on-one time. Me playing run-outs or whatever, that was fun. Me sitting in the garden and digging up mud with, or building a sandcastle. That is actually fun.
Yeah.
And it's not the action, it's the energy that you're exchanging and the sitting down and the concentration, and that's where it is. And like, I feel, not to be so long-winded, because I think I'm getting a bit soapboxy, but people are just longing to be seen, longing to be heard, longing to be acknowledged. That's what they do on this internet thing.
Yeah.
And they're doing worse and worse things. I watched something yesterday on the TV on Netflix about these revenge porn, something.
Yeah.
You know that program's on there?
I've not seen it, but I know.
The guy's getting girls to do some fuckery shit, bro. But I'm thinking, what is this like? And it's all just to be famous, or all just to be loved, or all just to be acknowledged. Like, it's mad. We can do this for our community.
But that's why when I say like humans have been corrupted, it's like we've been indoctrinated to believe that all these things are valuable. Fame is valuable. What's the value in being famous? Like, unless, I don't know, like I love what I do and I want to be successful, but fame is not the aim.
No.
I don't want to walk down the street and people are recognising me. I just want to live my life.
It's a problem if like that.
You know, but for you to just want to, like, you know, this younger generation, a lot of them, that's what they'll say. I want to be famous.
But they've got no comprehension of what it actually means.
Like, what do you mean? You want to be famous for what? Just anything. As long as people know who I am. It's like, what? Why do you want people to know who you are? And it's so weird. Like, it's crazy. And
it's bullshit.
And then it all goes hand in hand with the image. Because if you're famous and you want people to know who you are, you also want people to think you look good. And if you look good, you need money because you want to buy all these different, you know, I'm not saying you have to have a lot of money to look good, but a lot of what people deem looks good is expensive. You know, designer clothes. And then there's all the surgery that people think they need to have. And it just goes on and on.
You know what, Jess? We're going to go into you about your late years and having a baby and stuff and like getting older. But there was this program on a dump, people that lived on a dump in Africa or somewhere. On a dump. Wow. On a rubbish tip. You know, they used to live on the rubbish tip. You know people live on rubbish tips and they do these various things. Do you know there was certain man that would leave there, and the way they would look, you would never know they live on a rascal rubbish dump. And if they took time, they didn't know. I'm talking about these people that in the dirt, the way they took care of themselves and come out, when they went to wherever they was going, they look pristine like no man's business. So it's just about that attention and care to you, like your personal hygiene, your personal appearance, with whatever you got. You can make one outfit look great. Just just having that pride in yourself, self-pride and self-worth. I think that's where it's at. That's where it starts. That's what a lot of young people, a lot of people in the world are lacking. And like, I can't say that I'm not guilty of it. Like, there's certain times where I've longed for that, you know, that love, that hugging, that you want it. And certain times I've taken shit from women because I wanted it. They haven't taken my money or anything like that. But you've taken abuse, this happened or that's happened, because you want that. So we're all humans.
Yeah.
It's just about being more like you. Like, so yeah, and knowing your worth, and sometimes saying, nah, that's not for me, and I'm not scared of not having it. Yeah. Oh, the 10 grand, nah, sorry, I shouldn't have to pay 10 grand for your love. I'm not gonna give you 10 grand. If you still wanna come. And having that power to say no to certain things and not caring where it goes because you know it's not for you. Do you get what I'm saying?
But I think that boils down to one main thing in my mind, which is when you're when you've got that inner happiness and contentment. So then you're not relying on any outside factors. So you can say no to any outside factors because you're good within yourself, no matter what. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, but a lot of people, they don't find that. And it's not their fault. I just think that some, you know, people's lives take different paths. But if you're fortunate enough to find that inner happiness and peace, outside stuff, you could just take it or leave it, because that's not what you're not searching. Because you know what I mean? You found what you need. But I think a lot of the outside stuff that we go after is because we're looking for something.
You're lacking something.
Yeah, you know, and you see it with addictions and stuff. It's like there's always some hole that someone's trying to fill, even if it's shopping addiction. Like buying all this stuff. It's like, what do you want all this stuff for? Because there's something that they feel they're missing or they haven't got.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. And I think that's what we need to teach our kids, is that inner
Sorry,
happiness.
there's a thing, right? You use a free clap, yeah? So you put your hand out, you do free. The other hand, you earn and earn. Say what you just said again.
We need to teach our kids how to find that inner peace and happiness.
Now give my free. That's right. We need to teach our kids how to find that inner peace and happiness.
Yeah.
Because you need it. You don't need the outside stuff. We need your internals to be sorted. You need that to be working correctly.
Yeah.
Emotionally, physically, and mentally. So you can move forward. Else you're in big trouble.
It's true. And I just feel like, you know, with kids, they're obviously they're sponges, and they kind of, whatever they do or whatever beliefs they develop are based on your parenting. And so I'm a real believer in not spoiling kids with material things, because I just think from a young age you're making it seem like that's something valuable in their life. And I don't think you shouldn't give your kids anything, but it's just there's ways. Like, I don't think you need to be extravagant, and, you know, like, I don't know, like, just say, I feel like your kids need to know when they've got enough of something. You don't just need to give them more and more, or they don't need designer clothes. They just need something that's functional. Because designer clothes don't mean anything.
I mean, at the end of it, just, means anything to these kids. This is the problem. They
don't care.
They don't, and it's us as parents or us as adults who care more and put all the pressure on ourselves and on them, and they don't really give a shit. They'll wear it whatever it is. It's just now it's been deemed or classed hip to do certain things. Up until a certain age, kids are really, really like, they're just like, for want of a better phrase, monkey see, monkey do. They don't care. Like you said, they just get on with it.
Listen, I bought my daughter some trainers a few weeks ago from Asda, and I brought these trainers home, and she was like, oh my gosh, mama, she was over the moon with them because they were nice trainers. But I know certain parents, they wouldn't buy trainers.
And that's their fault.
And
that's on new parents. Fix up yourselves.
But then they set the standard for their kids. Now their kids won't accept anything from a supermarket because they don't know about that standard of living. And I just think,
and they're forced to buy the stuff. So when the pressure of finances comes, like what's coming for everyone soon,
then you're in trouble.
And then there's stress and problems and arguments.
They've lined themselves up for that. They've set the precedent of, this is how we live. And like I said, whilst I don't think kids shouldn't have stuff, it's just like, kids grow so fast. What am I going to spend £70 or whatever on a pair of shoes for that they're going to wear for 6 months? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all.
You make sense, but some people don't make sense.
So
some people, go on. I'm thinking of some of my baby mums or some other people. They just, they want this, want that, want that. But it doesn't make a difference to the child's life.
And so I just personally, I spend a lot of time trying to teach my daughter what really matters in life.
Yeah.
And it's nothing material. You know, I'm teaching her about gratitude and, you know, and just having that empathy and how to be a decent person and, you know, just...
Important. These are the things important.
Yeah.
Empathy, integrity, honesty, accountability.
Exactly.
These are things that are important. These are the things that will get them through life at a later date.
Exactly.
Like, no matter what, they got nothing and they can still build from these places. I didn't have a free. We're not gonna wrap up yet. We're gonna spin this around now because still gonna have to sing. Well, that's about the Twilights, but I'm gonna give you opportunity, because this is how it goes. You can pick one of these cards from me, free them for yourself. When you pick one for me, you can pick one as well if you like, sir. This is the new thing on the anniversary show. Pick a card, any card. Yeah. So, there's questions, there's random questions on all these, on the other side. There's 3 or 4 random questions on all sides of pictures. You're going to give me 3. I'm going to give you 1. And you can give us 2 if you like, sir.
Okay. So I'm picking 3.
You're picking 3, and then those 3 are what I'm going to ask you.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Let's take one.
Yes, you take 1. You can ask. How many questions you got in there?
3.
3. You can ask our guest 2. You can ask me 1. And I'll start.
Right. So what you're going to ask?
Oh no! This is for you, and this is for me. Yeah.
Okay.
And these are the ones left behind. So we don't need to know what's left behind.
I'm quite intrigued by this now.
Yeah. Who wants to go first? You go first.
I'll go first.
You go first. Who you asking the question?
I'll ask you the question.
You ask me the question.
Yeah. What is the worst thing you've ever seen?
Oh. What's the worst thing I've ever seen? The worst thing I've ever seen. It was all right. I wanted to say childbirth when my daughter came out, like, cause it was a lot. Okay, yeah, it was childbirth for me because I've seen other stuff. I've seen people stabbed, killed, all this other stuff. Like, not killed. I've seen people hurt, but childbirth was for me one of the worst things I've seen because I was young, 21, I think, when I had my first child, something like that, and I saw where, like, the vagina, and it was like opening up and the baby was coming out. And it was like it was literally the woman that was having a child, I've got a couple of baby mums, it is what it is in my life, like or lump it, was screaming blue murder. Like, everything under the fucking sun, like, you fucking me, why you done this to me? Mama said, leave me alone, motherfucker, mom, no. Had an epidural, everything, it was the worst. But I really
Sounds
thought,
traumatic.
yeah, I thought it would never be the same. I thought it was torn. I thought it would never be the same again. Like, and I was really torn, but there was nothing I could do. You know, like, you ever been in a position where you can do nothing to help the situation?
Yeah.
There's nothing I could do. There's nothing I could do to help. I couldn't take the pain. Couldn't take the baby out. I couldn't do nothing except for just be there. Other time I could say, oh yeah, I'll save the day, or hold my hand, whatever. There was nothing I could do. So I think that was one of the worst things I've seen because it traumatized me. It was a beautiful thing, but it really traumatized me. After the fact, now it's all good, it's all gravy, I'm happy. But yeah, I was like, at the moment, like, I could have dealt with 20 men running towards me, whatever, strapped, whatever. That I couldn't deal with. But
Did
yeah.
it traumatize you for long?
No. No, it only, like, it was, because imagine, because it was, that happened, she's screaming, I was telling me, baby popped out, boom, baby popped out, like, flew out. My eldest daughter flew out, hit the bottom of the bed, she popped out.
Oh,
She
wow.
came out, right, like, yeah, hit the bottom of the bed, screaming and shouting, her mum screaming at me, her mum looking at me funny, because we were young when we had a baby. Yeah, it was just a lot. There wasn't enough time to stay in that moment, but at that moment, when I saw that, everything just went, I don't know if you've seen Depth of Field. You know Depth of Field in a film where it goes like, all I could see was the head, the pussy opening. And I was thinking, what have I done? That's my oldest daughter to me because she's amazing. But yeah. Yeah, cool. What's your next question?
I'm not asking you.
Yeah. Next 2 is for Jez.
The next 2. Let me just do one more.
All right then.
If you had one wish, what would it be and why?
Oh God, one wish.
What would it be and why?
And why?
Okay, so the first thing that comes to my mind is I wish that collectively the human race could all be healed. Because I feel like what we spoken about and touched on, all the mess in the world, it's all because of, I think personally it's because of damaged people. And everybody's got a history, everyone's got a past, but I just feel like if everyone was in a better place and a more stable, peaceful place, I think we wouldn't have, the world wouldn't be in the state that it's in. So that's my wish and why.
Nice. Told you he's a beautiful person, didn't I?
Yeah.
Really nice. I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. Do you wanna go next?
Yeah. So who am I asking?
You can ask me. Do you wanna? Yeah, you ask me, and then we'll finish off with you. You got that song ready?
If you died tomorrow, would you be content?
Yes. Yes. And no.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Yes.
Why? No. Why?
Yes, because I do things not like I'm gonna die in the next second, but I do things. I live my life as clean and as properly as possible. I've got to a point now where I don't like. I'm consistently questioning myself, irrespective of whatever I'm doing. So therefore, I thought I'm in a good place. Whereas when I was younger or a different time, I wouldn't be questioning myself, the accountability, the like forecasting, like as I go, where I've been and where I'm going to. Also, what I'm doing and how I'm allowed to emotionally react or not react. Am I doing the right things? Right now, where I'm at right now, I think everybody that I love knows that I love them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody that I consider to my friends and know that I'm there for them, know that they can call me and know that I'm there for them. I believe this to be correct. Mm-hmm. And I think most people know the kind of human being I am. So therefore, yeah, I could die now and be okay. I mean, I don't want to die now, but I could literally die now and be okay, because I don't think there'll be any ambiguity as to who Ayo Fawole is or what Ayo Fawole represented, or like I said, who I loved or who I backed. So that, I think that is my ultimate. I don't know what everyone else's goal is in life, but my ultimate goal is in life is empowering my family, my children, and protecting them, making sure they're right, and then leaving a positive impact on everybody's life that I've spoken to, whether it's through a negative experience or a positive experience. Once it equals to that, like how all sugar turns to whatever in certain things, and when it all turns to sugar, then I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, so yeah, I could die right now. Don't try and kill me, please. People have tried recently. Yeah,
So why no? Because you said yes and no.
Why no? Because I've got so many children. I've got so much more to offer the world. Do you know what I mean? I want to see my children have children. I want to sit back and watch like my kids go through the shit I'm going through. Like my kids. I want to see them grow their families and see how they deal with stuff. See how my lessons and my input in their life benefits them. Mm-hmm. Also want to see my grandkids running around and say, leave them alone, let them run around. I want all of that. I've got stuff what I've got now. I want to get to that point where I put my feet up. I want to be a cantankerous old man as well. I don't fucking care, bloody hell. Because you know, like when you get older, old people like to be moaning because they're old. They've been through it. They got, you know, like as you get older, you're 41 now, you're the age you are. I can't do the shit I used to do when I was 21. Without, like, when I wake up in the morning, I swear, when we used to rave 6 days a week, I used to jump up and, yay, what's going on? Now, I sit up, I think. Yeah. I think some more. I collect coffee. I ponder some more. I look at my phone. Remember, I look at my phone. I need like 10, 20 minutes before I get up now. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah, sorry, long with it. So, yeah, there you go. That's what I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more questions there? That's one question in there.
Right, so how do you see the world?
How do I see the world? Wow, that's a good fucking question, you know. I think the world is fucked up. Seriously, I think it's fucked up. Because why do I think it's fucked up? Because people have lost a sense of community as far as I'm concerned. Like, we are a human race. We're not individuals. And this is the question I wrote for you other guys, but now I'm feeling the question myself, because we're a human race, we're not individuals. Each person knows how they want to be treated, yet we don't treat other people the same way we want to be treated. It makes no fucking sense to me. Like, I go around in my general day, like, apart from my own inhibitions, shortcomings, all the other stuff, like, and try to be nice to people, or I won't talk to you, or trying to interact and help you out. Like, not everyone could be the same or do the same things. But it upsets me when I see people going out of their way to upset other people, or just doing shit things to people just because they want to. And like, I'm disgusted by all the stabbings, all the shit parenting because of self kind of like issues where I hate the girl, I hate the man, the child suffers. I'm sick and tired of all this fucking the Putin and all the war, all that crap. It's all bollocks. All the materialistic stuff that the human race going with. Sick and tired of it. Don't like it. I think we're all in big fucking trouble. Yet, I think there's hope because there are very good people in the world as well. I think we just need to learn to get along properly and treat people, like I said at the beginning, how you want to be treated. Think about that before you do anything you're going to do. If you want to have the arsehole with someone, if you want to take something from someone, if you want to be pissed off, if you want to ask someone a question, if you want to be served in a certain way by someone in a restaurant, if you want to be spoken to someone on the train, if you want to look at someone like on the train in a certain way, or even just get out of the way, giving up a seat, all these things, courteous, manners, don't cost a thing. I sound like I'm babbling, but I understand what I mean. I hope you do too. I'm sick and tired of the human race, but I think there's still hope because we're all still in it. But I don't like the way humans are behaving right now. I think it's disgusting.
I'm with you.
That's how I feel about that. Sorry if I've offended anyone, but I love everyone. Go on. Have you got any more questions? That's my last question.
There's another one.
Yeah, that's what's it gone. We still you just put another hour on your time, so let's get it. Hello, come in.
Right. What's your
Sorry.
What's your fondest childhood memory?
My fondest childhood memory. I love it. I love it. You ask me such nice questions. Where'd you get these questions from?
I don't know. Who
I
wrote
don't know.
these?
Okay.
Who wrote these? And
My fondest childhood memory was my mum used to work in catering, and I had a really good childhood like you. But I got so many good memories. My mum used to work in catering, and she used to come home with like stuff like she used to bring home. There used to be a milkshake called Stripes, but it used to be in a carton. She used to come with crates of that. She used to come home with like fresh cream cakes, like cream horns, and like apple turnovers and chocolate eclairs. And I don't remember how old I was. I was under 10. I don't remember how old I was. I didn't know where the fuck she worked. Nothing. None of that. I just know she used to come home with nice things, like catering things. We used to come home with things. I used to wait for her to come. We used to come home and say, ooh! And it's just like the taste and the flavour of those things and eating those things and waiting for my mum to come back and my mum coming home. That was one of my fondest childhood memories. Like I've got loads of good childhood memories. That was my fondest. Like the comfort in eating those things. I just remember the kitchen. My kitchen could have been bigger than me and you. And then this side of the table back to the wall. That was our kitchen back in the day, like in the house we had. But it was a place where dreams came true. I swear to God, I shit you not. Thank you. Yeah, it's the truth, man. Serious. Okay, I reloaded. You cannot come in. Door's locked. Tell me something about you that nobody knows.
Oh God.
You picked the wrong card, didn't it?
Don't
lie. Tell the truth.
Yeah, but if nobody knows, do I want them to know now through your podcast?
It could be anything. Now you're thinking serious things straight away. You're thinking of dark things, isn't it?
Not
You think of dark
necessarily,
things. You think of dark things.
No,
like I could say. No, what could I say? No one knows that I've got birthmark on my back, but I say it's a mole. Like, you know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be bad, okay? That's not what you was thinking, like.
No, I've got something actually
Do you?
that I
Really?
thought of yesterday.
Okay.
So nobody know. I don't think anybody knows
Nobody
that.
knows my troubles.
When I was a kid, you know that sort of stage and age where they're like, "Oh, what do you want to do? What do you want to be when you grow up?" That question.
Yeah.
I had quite a long list of things I was interested in.
Yeah.
But one of them was I wanted to be a Formula One driver.
Easy.
Yeah, because I just loved fast driving, like fast cars, and I still do like
Tracy Chapman.
a bit of a yeah. I remember we were driving.
Oh, yeah! I got you singing. Driving in your car, speed so fast, so loud I was drunk. My song was bad, but anyway, yeah. I like that. I like Tracy. Bit of Tracy.
Yeah, so that's probably something that I've never really told anyone. Yeah.
Your voice is nice, you know.
Oh, thank you.
Shut up, remember when we... It's a little soft and I come in. What are your pet hates?
Oh, God. Loud eating.
Huh? Loud eating?
Loud eating.
Just eat with your mouth open.
And with your mouth open. That's probably my number one.
You ever eat like that?
Oh.
I know I do. I know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I know I do. Well, thank you for letting me know. Listen, I know. You know what's time to be. And I'm like, and then the person's like,
During the episodes, like.
oh, even the episode, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how you know it. Fucking don't know. But I've literally had partners, and then like you said, they were eating their dinner. I'm eating away, and they stopped, and I'm like, I'm eating away, and I'm turning, and they're looking at me. I'm like, what? They go, can you eat any quiet? What do you have to do? Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, that's my pet. One of my pet hates.
Okay.
And can I say another one?
Yeah, of course you can.
Um,
Say as many as you want. You just look a bit hatred though. You look like an angry woman if you've got loads, but
No,
I'm just messing with you, man. Don't be silly, man. You already know you're not angry. Look how much it's been smiling on the fucking program.
do you know what? There's just certain things that just rub me up the wrong way.
Yeah. I've
So,
heard that. You know, you rub me up the wrong way, right?
another one I'd say is poor personal hygiene.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. You mean smells?
Yeah. Just
Smells and appearance. Yeah, I think smells are the worst, but appearance as well.
Yeah, people that don't take care of their personal hygiene, I'm like,
Yeah, it's
unless
liberty.
you've got a problem, it's out of order.
Liberty. Do you know what, right? Let's just pause for a second, right? Do you know
Go
what?
on.
Right? I've got teenage boys, innit? So it's just something I have to keep telling them. And it's like, so I've known other parents and they say to me, oh, my boy's nasty. Bro. But kids are like this at a certain point. You have to,
ram it into them.
else they become nasty adults. And then it's the parents' fault. I'll be damned if any of my children be out there smelling or anything like that, unless it's of their own, because they wasn't taught how to take care of themselves, you know. So, yeah, it's a lot. It's nasty, man. One of the worst things in the world, I think.
Yeah. And I think it's, as a parent, it's your responsibility.
Yeah.
To, like, drum that in.
Yeah.
You know, like, even when they're little, they just need to get into that habit.
Yeah.
You know.
Man, I don't care. I tell them now, if you bathed, even when I talk, as your personal hygiene, you sort yourself out. No, cool, you better go and sort it out before you even talk to me, mate.
Yeah,
I'm not in it. And everything has to stop. You have to make them know how important it is, because in our times, because obviously at the same time, you'd be smelling in school, no one will fucking tell you. Not like you go, people tell you. And another thing as well, yeah, I loved fucking interviewing you because I've been gassing away. I think I spoke to someone for ages. The interview's been long, so I've been gassing. I haven't spoken this much lazy. But anyway, all in the morning, I go run, go holla fresh. Go holla fresh. We used to have songs about it when we were young. Make sure you get up and hold the fresh, because I want to tell you these things in school.
Yeah, even my little girl, you know, kids, they don't always want to have a bath or whatever.
Yeah,
They're like, Mom. And I'm like, hey, you can't be the kid at school that smells.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
you
no,
can't,
mate.
you cannot
you
be
can't
that
smelly
kid.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always one.
Yeah.
Cool, blimey. Okay, first date. Who pays?
Who pays? Oh, that's a good one. So I don't think there's a hard and fast rule, but I feel like the person who proposed the date, they should pay.
Okay, that's
But
I like that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with you both paying, because it's the first time, and I feel like you're both there in an equal capacity. That I'm getting to know you, you're getting to know me. Yeah. But I do feel like it should be the person who asked for the date should expect to pay.
Okay.
Because you can't ask someone out on a date and expect them to pay, because what if they haven't got no money? Well, it wasn't their idea. So.
All right. I like that.
Yeah. But on a first date, I would offer to pay half.
Yeah.
But I would expect the man to pay.
Kind of girl you are, though.
Yeah,
Certain
but no,
girls-
but I
certain girls
expect-
want everything and don't want to pay nothing.
I expect him to pay, but I'll offer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're a G like that. Right. Who or what was your first love?
Can I
The first time you knew that you was in love, the first time you loved something. You could say whatever you want. I don't control your mouth, your brain, or anything that comes out.
Can I say both?
Yes,
Who and
yeah,
a what?
yeah. That's a yeah.
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 So,
Come in.
The what
Yeah.
is definitely music. That's just that's something I always remember with a loving memory.
Yeah.
Like from as young as I can remember, I've loved music,
Yeah.
and it touches me on a, you know, it touches most people,
The
but
spiritual level.
it just touches you on a soul level, like
spiritual
on a
level,
deep,
yeah,
deep
yeah.
level. And the Who,
Be very careful now.
so I have to say, my partner now is my first love.
Woo!
Because-
Yo, D, bring up your chest because you're large every time. Done no. Brr. Won't say no more than that.
No,
Done no, go on.
Yeah, he's my first love because
bless.
we met when we were young. We were teenagers, and I had a couple of boyfriends before that, but that was the one that was like.
It's all misty, that. Yeah, that was the one that. He's
know,
quite a fella though, isn't he?
What do you mean? In what way?
He's a man's man, isn't he? He's my brother. I know him. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I've known him, and I've known him for years as well. It's not like I don't know him. I've known him apart. I didn't know you as part, so I've known him away from you. I've got my own relationship with him. Do you know what I mean?
separately, yeah.
So yeah, cool. I can appreciate you saying he's a good guy.
Yeah,
You know what I
even
mean?
now, like I've
Like everything's been a roller coaster, but I like that guy.
butterflies now.
Yeah, is it? Oh, bless your cotton socks. Oh, oh, you get a camera over here. Yeah. Oh, you know it's a beautiful thing when you've been with someone, they still give you butterflies. Can you imagine? What I want everyone at home to do, yeah, off the back of this, yeah, I love that, yeah. If your partner still gives you butterflies, but you haven't let them know the butterflies they give you, still, it maintains. Either tell them or let them know or do something to show them. It's like, fuck Valentine's Day. Do it today, tomorrow, the next day. Do you get me? Show them they give you butterflies and give them some rascal butterflies too. Because life is very, very short. I like that.
No, it's
That's
true.
maybe you're misty. I like that.
No, but, and it's true though. You have to like, what? Why you wait? Like, if someone makes you feel like that, let them know.
Yeah.
People want to know that they're appreciated and that they're loved. And yeah. I think it's all. I think that's like one of the key things in a relationship is that continuous appreciation. It's not a one-off thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just think you have to always make that person feel valued.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well done. Well done. Like that. What was your first heartbreak? It's the same fucker. I bet you it bloody is. I bet you any money. I want to tell right there. Well, D, you fucked up this time, didn't you, mate? Cool, blimey. I mean, you was in the good books and now you're in the bad books. Come on. Now, go on. You know it's going to be the same. Come on, be honest. It's the same person, isn't it?
Okay, so let me see.
Don't sugarcoat this shit, you know.
No, because I guess I have to say, yeah, that's probably my
I already
first,
know. I
my
already know.
Real heartbreak.
Yeah, I already know because of what you told me.
Yeah, I definitely felt heartbreak prior to that, but it was just a bit more surface.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to answer that question 100%.
No, but you see, with the amount, if you're telling me like what you just said initially prior to what we're talking about now about the butterflies, it only makes sense because that person's got so much within you. So you like somebody who you don't care about could blow up the fucking world. It wouldn't matter. Someone you care about could leave the toilet seat up, and that could be break your heart. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? The littlest thing could be what because you care about that person. Yeah. So that's the difference. So it makes sense if you care that much about them for that to happen. But it's fine. We're humans.
Yeah.
When it breaks, we can mend it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Do you want me to ask you that question? Can you see from there?
Yeah, I can see
Do you want
it.
me to ask you that question? We've got to go page, 2 more pages. I'm not saying that on pages. No, we've got one more because we asked the first.
I can't think of an answer to that.
All right, we'll leave that question because no one knows about questions yet, so we don't need to ask that question.
Yeah.
Another appropriate. Do you know what we'll do though? We'll just grab another question from here, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, you can pick one. Okay, let's because I've gone to the next page. Which one do you want? Do you want this one or this one?
The top one.
Okay, what's the best advice you've ever been given?
So it's something I mentioned today actually to my partner, and it's something my mum's always said to me. She said, always go for what you want, because if you go for a substitute, you're never going to be 100% happy. And so that I apply to everything in life, whether it's a job, whether it's something you're buying, whether it's a relationship, a house you're trying to live in, a car, anything. Just go for what you want. Basically, be true to yourself.
Get a spud this time. All right, I like that. That's that question done. What's the last 3 questions for you?
I'm enjoying these questions.
Good. I'm glad I wrote them now. Cool, blimey.
No, I like this.
She didn't enjoy me, didn't enjoy the interview, but you enjoyed the question. I'm joking.
No,
Good.
I'm loving the whole experience.
Good. What is your favourite food?
Oh, favourite food. Oh, can I just say one item?
You say what many. Listen, I mean, this is not a prison. There's no parameters. If you got more than one favourite food, then you say you got more than one favourite food. You're not fat, so I don't know how that works, but go on.
Okay, first thing is avocado.
Nice.
Second thing is plantain.
Okay. Plantain. She's planting.
Plantain. That's how English people say plantain. That's plantain.
You're very well spoken, though. You do know that, right?
I can be. I think my accent's quite neutral. It's not Cockney, it's not slang, it's not posh. It's just
in the middle.
Yeah,
chops right in the middle. Good.
Yeah.
Avocado, plantain.
Avocado, plantain, and they're my 2 favourite things.
2 favourites. Okay, cool. What's your favourite TV program /film?
Oh God.
If it's film, I want one. If it's TV program, okay, I want one film, one TV program, if you can. If not, just one of either.
Okay, so let me just start by saying I do not watch much TV and I haven't seen many films. The amount of films that people go, oh yeah, because you know blah blah film, and I go, I haven't seen that, and they just look at me like, oh my God,
That's sacrilege.
how have you not seen that?
Where have you been living in the
So
rock?
what I'm going to say is based on a very small pool.
It's all right. Your pool's your pool, B. It's what you put. If you're consuming it, it's okay for you.
Okay, so I'm just going to say 2 films.
Go on then.
Paid in Full
Paid in Full, man. Come on, Cameron.
and Donnie Brasco.
Donnie Brasco, oh, come on. Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
Al Pacino. Do you know they're very similar films?
Yeah, I like them kind of films. I don't know why. They don't even marry up with the person I am. I just like gangster films.
It's psychological as well. Some of them, like people call them gangster films, but they could be called other things like coming of age, triumphing over adverse
Yeah,
things.
there's more elements
Like
to it.
yeah, I mean, like survival.
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, companionship, family. There's so many like because there's cool gangster films. There's so many other connotations, undertones, and undercurrents within those films. Like within that whole the underdog getting to achieve, that winning, that kind of thing. There's loads of stuff. So I like that.
Oh, I got a TV show actually.
Have you?
It's not
I
on
haven't seen it yet.
anymore.
What is it?
It's
Go
not
on,
on
you in it?
anymore, but
No,
I
go on.
loved the series Misfits. Do you know Misfits?
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it up until until the second or third season when it started getting a bit stupid. The first season, fucking loved it. I fucking loved it. As much as it tried to be like X-Men or whatever, I loved it for the English thing. The characters in it, the mixed race girl, the black you, the Scottish you, the kind of chavvy girl. I liked all of the characters. They all had a
Characters were
space.
wicked.
They all had a space. I did like it.
Yeah,
It went a bit like this fashion. It went a bit south sideways after a little while, but I did like the initial thing.
Yeah.
And like that Scottish guy, I can't remember his fucking name, but he was so good for me. He had a good range. The kind of junkie, the crazy kind of one. He's really, I can't remember his name. He's done loads of
You
films.
don't mean
since.
the Irish one with Curly?
Irish, that's it.
Oh, I love him. He's
Yeah,
in
no,
love,
no, but
he's
he's-
in Love Hate as well.
Yeah, no, I
He's in
know
Love
him.
Hate.
I've known him. I've talked to him a lot. He's lived in the manor a bit, but I can't
Yeah.
remember his fucking name. But I love his craziness.
Yeah.
He's absolutely off the fucking wall.
Yeah,
Off the wall.
he's a brilliant actor.
Yes, very good actor.
Yeah.
Any more?
No, that's it.
That's it?
There'll probably be others, but that's the first.
All right.
That's
What
what comes to mind.
are your hobbies
Hobbies.
and what things you like to do?
Okay,
It's
so
the last question from the scripted questions. Live talks. And you're gone.
So hobbies, I love doing. I like roller skating.
You can roller skate?
Yeah,
Are you that?
I don't do like fancy tricks or anything, but I just love skating.
Yeah.
And gymnastics, which I've recently started doing again. I did it for a little while a few years ago. Then I stopped, so I've just got back into it, and I love it. So they're my two main hobbies, and then.
Interesting.
And I guess it's a hobby. I'm really into like psychology. So I read a lot of books about psychology, human behaviour, mental health, all that realm of stuff.
It's important.
I'm really interested in.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's important. Nice. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your DJ stuff when you've been on the radio.
So yeah, DJing is that's what I do. I started off as a club DJ and
I feel like I just be raving with you. Then I saw you in the rave one time you playing. I was like, oh, that's class.
yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah, so that's how it started. I was just out all the time, loved music, and just kind of, when you're into something, like raving was a massive part of my life, but it's like I wanted to be on the other side of it as well. Like I wanted to be involved in making the rave happen. So I started doing my own parties, and then at the same time, more or less the same time, I started DJing. I was at an after party one time and there was someone playing and I was like, oh, teach me how to mix. And they did. And that was it. And I just got a pair of decks, like practiced every day.
Nice.
And started DJing. And then, it's been a real journey actually, because I started off in the clubs and I had my pseudonym at the time was Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah. Roger Rabbit, like from Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Well, it's from that, but it was just a nickname that everyone gave me.
Yeah.
From that film, that became my nickname.
Yeah.
So when I started DJing, it was an obvious choice. Like,
Yeah.
And then after a certain amount of time, I kind of wanted to just rebrand myself. Various different reasons, but I just felt like Jessica Rabbit sounded a bit gimmicky, and I didn't want that gimmicky vibe anymore. And so then I changed to Kemi, which is
Kemi. Yeah, well done. It's a good, strong name, man.
Now. Yeah, and I love that name. Some people go, "Oh, it sounds like Japanese," which I get why they're saying that. But I'm like, no, it's Nigerian, and. So what I'm doing now, DJ wise, is I'm still doing the clubs and stuff, but I'm also doing private, corporate stuff as well. So that's like, I always kind of say that's like my day job, because obviously those events you do kind of more for the money, and then the other ones are for
fun, love, passion,
the love and the
of course.
passion. So I'm doing that, and then I've got my monthly radio show, and that's where I'm just 100% I'm just 100% me. I just play whatever I feel like playing on that.
Where's that?
It's on Bloop. It's an online station.
Online station.
Yeah.
You got just Bloop online, yeah. There's no coordinates on that. Back in the day, 34.6.9.7.8. Mission FM.
Do you know what? I don't think they're on the dial.
Okay, so it's digital radio,
FM radio, yeah.
Bloop radio on
Bloop.
Once a month.
Yeah, Bloop
particular
London.
date.
So I'm on the third Saturday of the month from 5 till 6. But there's always it gets recorded, so you can always find it on my SoundCloud or Bloop SoundCloud.
Third Saturday on Bloop. Third Saturday on Bloop. Digital radio. Kemi. Oshi. Is that right? Did I get it right?
Yeah.
First Saturday, Bloop Radio, Kemi Oshi playing what she likes to play. If you want to hear, just tune in. Don't know.
Yeah. And that's the show where I just basically like it's mainly house. It is house, but it's like minimal, techie.
The kind of stuff we used to rave to, or like new stuff and old stuff.
Kind of newer stuff, yeah. Not really old stuff. I'll throw in a random old school track sometimes at the end, but for the most part, it's like it's minimal, it's tech house, it's that kind of vibe. So so that's what I'm doing from that side of things at the moment. Trying to just get the balance right now between doing the corporate stuff and the club stuff, because corporate stuff's quite time consuming.
Yeah,
you know,
pays the bills, all right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Hold on. The way you said, I want to come and do some corporate stuff. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's really.
How about you? Was it corporate stuff? Yeah.
No, it's really cool, and it's really fun. But obviously, I'm playing what the client wants, so they will basically give me
playlist.
I do weddings and birthday parties and all sorts of things. So they will either give me a list or they'll just give me a guide to what they want. And I've got like a full equipment set up that I take. So I've got speakers and lighting and all that kind of stuff. And my boyfriend is my roadie. So he comes with me to all my gigs.
Easy.
Helps me with all the manual.
We doing Sunday?
Hey?
We doing Sunday?
Sunday coming?
Yeah.
Yeah,
one sec. Bust it for him.
This Sunday, I'm not sure. I think I've got some sort of christening or something.
You're booked?
I think I'm not booked to play, but I think I'm going to. I need to check the date. I think it's this Sunday.
7th. If not, come in if you want to come in. Is that steady? If you come in. I need you on Sunday if you're not doing nothing.
What, to DJ?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Yeah. So I've got my setup. So yeah, we go and like together we do this little, collaboration, which is really nice. Like it's nice rolling with your partner, going to work, and obviously my work's really fun. So yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I produce my own music as well. I released something I don't know when it was. It was a few months ago.
You and him can muck about maybe. He does all that stuff as well.
Yeah, good thanks.
What kind of music? Housey music?
Yeah. So I had a release out on a label called Concept. It's a Romanian label.
Yeah, Concept.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Concept Records, and the track's called 45.
Can I hear it?
Yeah.
Go on, you got your phone there. Bang it
What,
out.
do you want me to hear it right now?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Maybe we can hear it. Will it come through clear?
What's it going to come through though?
The mic, yeah, you can hear it.
Let's have a little bushes of that. Let's have a little 30 seconds, 40 seconds if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Unless you're not going to sing, are you?
No, I'm not doing any singing.
Yeah, she's not going to sing, so I might as well get that in it. Got you singing a little bit though, didn't we?
Oh.
You done something, you harmonised.
Oh, you mean when remember we were driving in my car? Yeah.
She did it again. Speed so fast, felt like I was drunk. Oh, I don't know the rest, but I sing the song. Yeah, Longers.
Okay, so shall I just play it through my phone?
Yeah, please. Get close to the mic.
Shall I let's kind of skip the intro?
I don't know. I don't know. This is all you.
Yeah.
Would you produce them?
So I just use Logic. Yeah, and I do everything at home. Then I just send it to the studio to get mixed, and get mastered.
You listening steady? Back in the day, cut the drinks. I'll be in there. You got little samples in there as well, yeah?
Yeah, so
Yeah. You can turn it down or cut it off. Yeah, go on. It sounds nice though. Check that. That's in Romania. That's the sold to a Romanian label, you said?
signed to a Romanian label, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you need to have a listen to it with like proper.
Yeah, so you can feel it.
Headphones. Yeah, I'll whack it on my earbuds. My what they call, just give me radiation. But yeah, they sound really good in there. The noise counsellors. What we got coming from you now? What's next?
What's next? So more releases. I've got so much music that's just like I just need to finish off.
Can I have some
What for? Like,
poetry?
Yeah, of course. Like, what do you want me to make music for you, or do you want me?
Yeah,
Like,
can you send me something? You can send me something you've already got. Then I can maybe match it with something I've already got. Or you could send me something that you want something for, or that you've got, like you've just produced or something.
Yeah.
And we could maybe, because I'll go off the energy of it.
okay.
And like, so if it's dark, it's dark. If it's light, it's light. If it's dark to light, or whatever, whatever. I'd be interested in doing that. Just kind of exploring where that would go.
Yeah,
You know what
why
I mean?
not?
Yeah, so send me some stuff, please.
Yeah, I will do.
Cool. Yeah, but yeah, so.
But yeah, so yeah, releases. I've been having an urge for a long time to do a party, but I don't want to be a promoter again because it's a lot of headache and ag and a lot of hard work. But I think I might just do a one-off little event, just I don't know, just for the sake of it.
Where, when?
Where, when? I don't know when. I think I'm going to do it on a boat though. I've been going to like a few
What?
boat parties.
Can you swim?
And just about. I've been going to boat parties and I just love the acoustics because it's all like low ceiling and it's all wooden. It just always sounds wicked when you're on these boats because you're all enclosed. And I'm like, every time I go on the boat, I'm like, yeah, I need to do a party on here. So I might do one this year at some point.
Yeah.
I probably need to collaborate with like one of my friends or something because to do that whole operation on your own, it's a lot. It's not that I can't do it, it's just the time. Do you know what I mean? Being out and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so more releases. I've got a little show coming up actually that I've been wanting
invite,
to...
yeah?
Sorry?
That invite.
It's a little series of my own
Oh,
that
good.
I want to do. And it's basically a review show. So I've been just working on that quietly. And I'm going to I want to
Let me know that drops out. Yeah.
I want to put out weekly episodes of that, just reviewing certain tracks.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, that's mainly it really. But I was going to say, you touched on that vocal, that sample, obviously, like, we're from a similar era. And what I've been doing, I've been really influenced by jungle. Like, I listen, and so, you know, the types of samples they use. Remember they used to use like film samples and that in jungle.
Yeah.
So I do.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. That's one of the maddest ones we've got. But
but there's loads. And so, yeah, that was just something that I really loved. So I I incorporate that into some of my music because I don't know, like...
It breaks the song down, it stops you thinking. I don't know, it's just nice.
It gets your attention because you're like, oh, there's a little story going on here.
Yeah, it's like a breakbeat, like it just breaks it down,
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's it really. What else have I got in there? I've got loads of little bits and pieces that I want to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just trying to
Make that happen.
Trying to manifest all these things.
Just keep checking my phone. Jessica?
Yep.
And that's been amazing. I think I've got all the information I want to get out of you. Is there anything you want to ask me? Or anything before we close up? Or anything you want to get off your chest before we close up? Or talk about or say before we close up, before we wrap up? Or anything you want to ask him? Ask him something.
Do you know what? I feel like we've covered everything, to be honest with you. It's been such a wicked experience.
Cool. I've enjoyed talking to you as well.
Yeah, it's
a bit mad. Like, I'll be honest with you, I had mad energy before I came in today. No one knows anyone's energy, but you know, because I spoke to you about it. But I've enjoyed sitting across the table talking to you today.
Yeah.
I've been in the studio for a minute and it's been nice.
Yeah, it's been fun and I've really enjoyed it. And I love a chinwag, so this is
Yeah.
an excuse.
I'm glad you came. You know, I got to get next on fucking Tash, innit? 'Cause I've had Alana's been on.
Yeah.
I ain't had Tash on yet.
Which Tash?
Tash, man, there's 3 of you, Tash, that come to watch my play. Tasha, man. Light skin Tash. Tash with the twins.
Tanya.
Tanya. I call her Tash all the time. She's going to fucking kill me, you know. Fucking hell. Can you imagine? We have to edit that out, you know. Cool. Yeah, look, he never does. He's saying he never does. He'll be like, and then she'll be like, oh, you call me Tash? Yeah, Tanya, I love you, Tan. So sorry. I'd love it if you come on a show one time and maybe we can get in about your life. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I've enjoyed talking to you. Maybe you should get D down there. D's got a fucking story.
Read my mind.
Huh?
I said you just read my mind. I was thinking he's got a few stories.
He's got loads of fucking stories, mate. Depends what stories he wants to tell. He's got loads of stories, bro.
Yeah.
Loads of stories, man.
I'll ask him if you want.
Let me know. I wouldn't mind having him down here, man. Yeah, man. That's the voice behind the camera. Not here. We got the wizard, Albanian. The lovely Jessica. That's her old name, a.k.a.
Kemi.
Kemi Oshi. Kemi Oshi. Look out for her on Bloop Radio, online, every first Saturday of the month, right? 4 till 6? 5 till 6. 5 till 6. Yeah, that's Fawole. Live talks. Let's go. Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much, man.